What's going on, YouTube? It's RJ the Fed. We're going to be doing a blind tonight. So we got an answer key over here, still sealed up. Have no idea what we got. I've got 4 pours labeled Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta from Troy and Laura from Baker Drinks. So we're going to go ahead and crack these open. And we're going to pour these up so that way we can start letting these sit. And we'll be prepared for this blind. So we'll see how this goes. Ate some food a little bit earlier. Had a little drink, a little water in between too, since the last time we were pre-gaming our live stream. So we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and crack these open. Try not to eat food before drinking a blind because I don't want to ruin the blind. So made sure we had some time in between. So pour up a little bit in Alpha, a little bit more. Not quite an ounce, but close to an ounce. We'll take the plastic off these two so we can recap these. We emailed Troy and Laura the link, so if they'd like to come on, they're more than welcome to. Either way, we're doing this blind, even if we have to struggle through it. Pouring a Bravo glass. We got Glen toppers too from Mr. Tater Dom. So we're going to put these on there too to help us with the smell, at least for the first two. We'll see if the Glen toppers mean anything or not when it comes to sniffing whiskey. Pour up Charlie glass. And let's pour up Delta glass. What up, Mark? Long time no see. What's up, Jesus? We're pouring up our blind right now. We got 4 pours from Baker Drinks. 4 pours. So we're going to try to keep our pours with our glass so we can move these around. And finally, oh, well, and we have an answer key. I don't know. How do you guys think I should do this? Should we wait and hear back from Troy and Laura, or should we just go right into it and see what we can do? Get a little seltzer water. We're going to set that off to the side because it's flavored, and just use actual water. Make sure Matt Whiskey Wisdom goes shirtless with you, RJ. I can try. I don't think he'll do it on the stream though. Oh no. Sup, RJ. Yeah, we got these pours. We just poured up about 1 ounce pours in each glass. We're gonna see if we can guess these. I have no idea what we're drinking. He said it's easy. I don't know how easy it actually is. Or how long we should let them sit for. But we've got sample bottles that we're going to keep bouncing back and forth so we can try to keep them. I have a flight board that they're on labeled ABCD. We got Glen toppers. We only got 2 Glen toppers, so 2 of them are open, 2 of them are topped off, and we'll see how that goes too. So, I guess we'll get into the nose. So we're going to move to the first glass, glass A. I know nothing. I don't know proof. I don't know distillery. This is like the most blind of blind ever. So I don't know what we're going for. We'll see what we go for. Some nuttiness on the nose. Some vanilla and caramel. Smells like a whiskey to me. Wow. Move to glass 2 to see the nose, to see if they're different. How different they might be. A little bit lighter, a little bit less ethanol forward. Please don't be Bondstone Double Oak. I would rather have Beam than Bondstone Double Oaked. This one's a lot sweeter. Feels a lot lighter in the nose too. Is that a Carmelo Anthony jersey? Oh wait, it's a Weller Foolproof. Yeah, got the Weller Foolproof jersey. Charlie Glass for the nose. Ooh, this one's like a lot darker on the nose, a lot sweeter, and a lot more like. This smells delicious. See so far the best smelling. See what Delta smells like. Need a link for that? Go to my YouTube page and then click on the channel, and then that top thing should have a link to it there. I didn't do it that way, John. I did put on the back. Ugh. Hang on, we get our freaking arms in here. Ugh. We did do the back of the jersey too, but we did the Weller logo and Weller. I think that's a better idea, though. I think we should probably do full proof on the back and 114 for the jersey number. Maybe we should do that next time. Let's see. I'm not sure what we're gonna have to do with this, but I'm gonna have to look at that. We'll figure it out. TJ's working on something for me. We'll figure it out though. Smell Delta. Delta doesn't smell too bad either, but it smells very sweet too. They all smell like they're between like 92 and 100 proof. Nothing too crazy there. That one's got a lot of that fruit cherry notes to it. I like that. I think C and D are the best smelling. What is up, William Hall? Yeah, I'm going to say C and D are the best smelling. Yeah, Alpha's got some like cinnamon to it almost now, coming back to it. Bravo's probably the most muted. All right. Well, let's go ahead and give Alpha a try. A lot more heat on the palate than I was expecting. I was expecting low proof. Definitely above improve point from what I expected. Try one more time. I'm not trying to compare the two, but just off the blind, not knowing anything, it's probably Jim Beam or Heaven Hill. I'll have to come back to that though. Some water in between. What's up, Daniel? This is a pretty easy drinker for Bravo, but the smell's not that great. A little bitter on the palate. Really don't know what it is, but it tastes really thin. Nick Jones. Just proud of yourself for nailing the Dickel 15 in the blind I did Friday. I don't know if we'll nail any of this. Moving on to Charlie Glass. We're leaving quite a bit left on these, so we can kind of go back to them. And if Troy and Laura are able to tune in or even hop on, that'd be great. Otherwise, we'll see where we go. Yeah, C and D just smell really good. Wow, not the flavor profile I was expecting on that one. All right, Charlie. If I had to guess right now, the distillery would be Jim Beam. That'd be my guess. Charlie, I'm thinking Jim Beam. Let me get a notepad up here so we can kind of keep track of some of this. Let me move the notepad up here. Make that smaller because it's freaking ginormous. All right. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta. Charlie, Jim Beam would be my guess off the tasting so far. Try some of Delta. Why do C and D smell the best but not taste the best? Sorry, I'm trying to get this notepad sorted out to where it looks decent so I can use it. Trying to put it up top. There we go. They all taste like whiskey. Ah, I mean, I don't know. D kind of has that George Dickel vibe to it. All whiskey, yeah. They're definitely all whiskeys. We got that part right. It's not Fireball. It's not Fireball. So far, I'm thinking C is Jim Beam and D is George Dickel as far as distillery. Laura says Troy's hopping on to join you. Yeah, because I'm gonna need a lot of help and a lot of hand holding. What's up, Craig? You know, I've never had 10 high, so I can't really tell you what 10 high smells or tastes like for me to even have a good guess on that. I've never had 10 high. Trying to look around the room like I have a bottle similar to it. Hmm. It's got some heat to it, but it creeps up. A good one to try if you want to just not spend too much money would probably be the George Dickel bottled in bonds. If you want to have one that's reasonable price, I have an open bottle of it too, actually. I don't even have a guess on A yet. Let's move to Bravo. I'm lost. I'm very lost. It's not bad. Hmm. Let me go to the two that are more familiar to me. Let's go to Charlie and Delta again. Let's see if we get some more other than just distillery information on what I think they might be. Probably Willet Pot Still. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's Willet Pot Still. There's a very strong nutty presence on C, which is why I really think that Jim Beam is truly what this is. As far as the offerings from Jim Beam, I've only had the white label and like Booker's, and this is lower proof. So like, if this isn't cheap Jim Beam white label, maybe this is like that extra age, the 7-year. Get a thumbs up in the background if you're ready to go, because we're gonna need all the help we can get, Troy. He's over here chomping though. He's eating something. What's up, Troy?
What's going on, man?
I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling. I feel
Uh,
like C and D. If you have, do you have the same key? You know what I'm drinking?
I, I I remember vaguely. I didn't write it down for myself,
Okay.
but I remember the bottles, so I don't remember what order they're in.
I feel like there's a Jim Beam bottle involved, and I feel like there's a Georgia Dickel bottle involved. If you don't remember the order, that's fine. But I think C, based off flavor profile, what I'm tasting, there's a lot of nuttiness and earthiness in it. I really think C is the Jim Beam product. Now, out of the Jim Beam I've really only had Booker's and the white label, and I don't think you would send me the white label, although it's a possibility. If it's not the white label, I would have to guess they had that new release, or I don't know if it's new, but it's new on the shelves in my area, that extra 7-year aged.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, Laura just reviewed that, and that video's dropping tomorrow. But it's none of those. Um, so you've tasted through all of them already?
I've smelled them and I've tasted through all of them, and C and D are the most familiar to me as far as flavor profiles.
Okay. So have you decided what type of whiskey they are?
Um,
So
as far as
without trying to get tunnel vision on like a specific bottle or whatnot, just start with: is this a bourbon? Is it a rye? Is it a
I think
Scotch?
they're
Is it
all
an Irish?
bourbons.
Okay, so you've got bourbon for all four of them.
I think all four are bourbon.
Okay. On A, do you think it's finished or not finished?
I didn't think any of these are finished, but let me go back on A and B, because A and B are the two that I'm like not familiar with at all. A might be finished. It'd be a wood finish. It wouldn't be a flavored finish.
Finish is a finish, man.
I'm gonna say A's finished.
Okay. So you got finished bourbon for A. What are you thinking on B?
not any finish I'm familiar with, so I'm going to say not finished.
Okay.
And I'm going to say not finished for C and D because those are two I'm more familiar with as well.
Okay. Are we working on proof? And we'll say proof within like 5 points. You don't have to headshot a proof.
I think the ballpark for all four would be around 105 to 115 within 10 for all four, if I had to guess. But if I had to guess on individuals, I think we go to A and B again.
I mean, this is our process when we're doing blinds. You know, you start getting tunnel vision on a specific bottle, and you make all of your answers fit to that bottle, right?
I think A is on a lower proof point than 115, so I'd probably go around 105, 106.
Okay.
I think B is a slight step up. I'd say like 10, 109.
Okay.
Let me get to Charlie and Delta again. I think Charlie's definitely on the higher side. I'm going to say 115.
Okay.
Charlie kind of reminds me of Boondocks 18, which I find funny. And I'm going to say probably 114, 112 for Delta.
So split the difference, 113.
Let's do it.
Okay. So just take a second. Do you like them or do you not like a specific one?
So
and
I really
like. You're not going to
liked.
hurt my feelings on what you say here. So
I really like the smell on C and D
Mhm.
over A and B for the nose. But when it got into drinking them, C and D were probably the most like unique profile, but that wasn't necessarily like what I desired. That's why I immediately went to like George Dickel and Jim Beam if I had to pick a distillery.
Gotcha.
Because there's very few Jim Beam that I like and very few George Dickel that I like, but the nuttiness and earthiness comes out as almost like heat, almost as proof from the barrel. So as far as what I like, what I don't like, I didn't really care for A or B,
Okay.
but I found them to be the most approachable to drink.
Fair enough. So basically, you liked the nose on two of them, and you didn't like how any of them drank.
Correct, because I think we might have an Elijah Craig in here somewhere, and I think the Elijah Craig one in here, that's just that profile that it's almost impossible for me to pick out because I like refuse to drink them.
Fair enough. So you're thinking Beam and Dickel on C and D in that order or opposite order?
I think C is. Let me touch it again. I think C was the Jim Beam one.
And you may be right. I don't know. I'd have to look at the bottles because I'll give you a clue. These are sourced. I think Laura's trying to round up the bottles for me right now. I was just finishing up my dessert from dinner, so
I'm thinking C is Dickel and I think D is Jim Beam. They're almost interchangeable just because flavor profiles are very similar from those two distilleries. One just has to have, like, in my opinion, a lot more nuttiness to it than the other, and they both have a long finish. They both have that earthiness, and they have a lot of nuttiness behind them.
Gotcha. So did you tell everybody how you came across this flight?
Yeah. I said you had sent this to me. I can't remember if we had agreed to something or if this was planned or not, but
No, you won this on Whiskey Wisdom's show.
oh, okay.
I don't remember. It was like an extra, like when people were throwing in stuff, I threw in a mystery flight and you won it.
Hey, this makes it fun too, because I was like, the best way to do this for me to have like actual fun on it. So like, let's do this shit live where I can really struggle and show everybody that these blinds are tough, and I'm willing to bet that I'm going to get 0 out of 4.
Yeah, well, you should have made a bet with Rusty. He did our mystery flight, made a video out of it, and he was drinking different things than this, obviously, but he went 0-4.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, even if you told me all 4 bottles, like I'd have a better chance, but I still couldn't say for sure that I could get it.
Yeah,
especially because I think at least 2 of these are bottles I haven't had.
I mean, it's probably, it's a high likelihood you haven't had any of these, to be honest with you.
Even better.
That's why I'm like, don't focus so much on like a specific bottle, but let's nail the easy things or the easier things, you know, type, finish, proof, that sort of stuff. If you can guess those 3 things within a certain degree of accuracy, you'll do well in most blinds.
I don't know about accuracy, but we're trying. As Matt Compton said, he hasn't drank nearly enough different whiskeys to get into blind flights, he thinks. I think it's fun to do even if you haven't got into as many, just because then you really don't know what you're trying, but you can still have some kind of decision and thought process behind them.
Yeah, you know, and it gets easier with more experience with different bottles, and by easier I mean like if you drink a lot of Jim Beam or a lot of Dickel or stuff like that, you start to recognize that profile. Laura can pick out like a Buffalo Trace profile more often than I can.
I don't think any of these are Buffalo Trace profiled.
Yeah, I'm pretty solid with like the Brown Formans, the Old Forester and whatnot, the Woodfords. There's just a note on those that I pick up pretty easy.
And see, I didn't get anything on these 4 to even think Old Forester either, which I'm a pretty big fan of Old Forester. So if one of these was Old Forester, that'd be pretty off-putting for me that I missed it. But I really didn't feel anything out of the Old Forester offerings I've had. But most of the stuff I drink is the barrel proofs, and I can confidently say that none of these are the barrel proof bourbon from Old Forester. There's no blue label in this lineup.
Yeah. So how you been, man? We haven't been on a stream together in a while.
I've been doing a lot of overtime, a lot of work, and then I've met the point of diminishing returns on this last paycheck, where I worked 32 hours of overtime, and my check was only $200 greater than when I worked 20 hours of overtime.
Yeah, you hit that next tax bracket, and they punished you for it.
So, but I've been pretty busy. I did hit that first tier of monetization for the super chat, so pretty big accomplishment. We gave away a shit ton of bottles during that one, so that was fun. That was really enjoyable. A lot of donations from everybody, whether that was just money, bottles, or samples. Really trying to push towards that 1,000 subscribers. It might be an unrealistic goal, but my goal is to hit that in the next 2 months. At the end of 2 months, that'll be pushing the 1 year since I really started enjoying Whiskey Tube. Mm-hmm. As far as watch hours, we should hit that by the end of next month, like guaranteed. I think I'm only like 500 or 600 hours away from 4,000 hours of watch time. So we'll hit the watch time before subscribers, which is probably unique for several channels to hit that. Normally people hit the subscriber goal first, but I think we got a pretty strong fan base. I think when you look at some of the guys that are out there that are doing it in the channels, whether they're doing shorts, they really push for subscribers. I've really pushed for that strong community, and most of these guys, they all know each other. They all have each other's information. They all share and have conversations outside of YouTube. And I like to continue to expand that family, but I'm not really trying to push necessarily just to get subscribers to have subscribers. I want to have people who want to be a part of the community, want to show support and take care of people. Take care of people like you and Laura. I mean, I know Whiskey Wisdom posted up the spreadsheet. I'll definitely do a segment after this blind where we share that spreadsheet again. That spreadsheet is going to be a bunch of donations that people have given, whether that's bottles or samples, to help raise money through a raffle, which they'll be able to send money to you via Venmo as the preferred payment method. So we can help cover some of those expenses for you guys and show our support that way. Even if they don't give you guys money, donating bottles and samples, that's their way of supporting. However you guys want to support and donate, that's the way to do it. Take care of your own. I mean, you guys have been there. You guys have done a lot for the community, and
Yeah,
the
it's
fact that the place that you guys work at and the insurance that you guys carry that they're not going to cover in full, it's just ridiculous.
yeah. I mean, it's really been overwhelming, the the amount of people who have stepped up and showed us that they care about us. It was completely like we just went on Whiskey Wisdom's live stream with him on Friday night. It was going to be kind of a fun thing, and he sprung this on us that you guys had all been working on this behind the scenes. And again, like I said, pretty overwhelming to see just how this community steps up for its own.
Yeah.
People that I don't know, I've never heard of, you know, sending us contributions and well wishes, and it's really touched us. So again, like you said, you build this strong community of people. It's not really about the numbers and the subscribers and the clicks and all that stuff. It's about connecting and making friends. Um, you
We've
know,
got some guys even in the Discord that they've been going through some shit. And the one thing that I keep trying to tell people and push to people is no matter how alone you think you are, like you don't have to be. There's people that are there for you. There's people that'll support you. This community, there's several people within it that'll support you guys, whether that's a conversation, money, whatever it might be. There's people out here that'll help take care of you guys. So if you guys are looking for that help, if you guys got some issues going on, deaths in families, sickness, any kind of issues, work related, maybe lost your job, going through some stuff, whatever you guys need to do to get back on track, if that's having a conversation with someone like us, please feel free to reach out to us. Do not go through something alone. Don't make any bad decisions without having a conversation with someone first. That's all I have to say on that matter.
yeah, and these live streams, you do a ton of them. You do the early morning hunt live streams, which are insane. Driving down the
It's
road.
called laziness is what it is. I just don't want to do editing on videos.
Yeah, that's fine. But you're like driving down the road with the camera on you, and you're just talking and stuff.
But hey, it works out though. I've purchased bottles at some of these stores because someone says, "Hey, pick that up." Like Torup's in chat, he told me to pick up the A Overholt, so I picked that up. Matt from Whiskey Wisdom wanted us to pick up a Frey Ranch store pick for him. I picked up one for myself, so we did that video where we had those pours together. So I do listen and take recommendations while I'm actively going through and showing off bottles in store, and I'll buy
Yeah.
stuff whether it's for me or for you guys. So
Yep. But I look at these live streams as a chance to hang out with friends. It's like when I was younger, I'd get off work or payday or Friday night, Saturday night, whatever, and more often than not, I'm heading to the bar. I'm spending a lot of money. I'm hanging out with friends, but I'm also running the risk of getting in trouble. And you're taking a cab home or calling someone to pick you up, or God forbid you're drinking and driving, which we don't want to happen. So these live streams are a chance to socialize with your friends with that alcohol element included, and
from the comfort of your own home.
it's cheaper because you're drinking your own whiskey.
Yeah.
You're not driving anywhere. You're not getting any kind of trouble because you're home. And so we just create a safe space for people to enjoy those drinks with like-minded people and friends. And I hope that everybody watching takes advantage of that. Regardless of whose live stream you're watching, it's just the best thing to do. It's the cheapest thing. It's the safest thing. You don't have to drink alone. You can get on screen. You don't have to show your face when you get on screen. You can just listen and comment. With the black screen in front of you. It's a good
Even
time.
if you're not on YouTube, we got Discord. I got 6 guys chilling on my Discord right now that are all hanging out talking right now. So, and some of them are watching the live stream and commenting during the live stream while they're talking and chatting it up on their own part. So it's like the fact that you can do that from the comfort of your own home, don't have to worry about drinking too much because you're not going down anywhere. You're not driving. That's the best part about it too. Plus, like you said, that communication, because part of the idea, at least for me, was going out to the bar was for socializing. Well, now you can socialize online. It's not quite the same, but still pretty close to have that interaction with people.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some pretty insane conversations with people on these live streams
Yeah, they get
backstage
pretty
after
off the wall, pretty off
yeah,
track.
backstage after the live stream ends when it's just, a handful of people hanging out and you don't have to worry about Big Brother YouTube coming in. It gets pretty real. It's some crazy stuff.
I don't want
I've
to eat
also
Fruit Loops anymore.
So, if you ever get a chance when someone says the stream's ending, but I posted the link so you can jump backstage, you should do it at least once.
Yeah,
And see
you
what
don't
it's
have to
all
have the
about.
camera on. You can stay muted and you can just comment. But if you want to, you're more than welcome to. It's pretty funny. Torp said, "Drum roll, A B C D."
Yeah, so this is a blind, right?
Yeah.
You got your answer key handy? You ready to go through it?
Oh, yeah. I can open it up.
I bet you did better than you think you did.
You got them written down for me because I didn't take notes at all.
Yeah, I got some stuff written down here.
All right. Moment of truth, guys. Sample A was Nulu. It was toasted, which I did say finished. And it was a 121.4 proof, which I think that's crazy because that drink's super under its proof point. That was super smooth, super easy drinking.
You said 105, but you did say bourbon and finished. So you got 2 points on A.
That was very smooth and very easy to drink, too. That drank well below its proof point. I was impressed.
Yeah, what did you say the proof was on that?
121.4.
Yeah, that's this guy right here.
You guys are going to be really disappointed when I read the rest of these out.
Now, you were warned. There's a theme.
Oh, there's a theme, guys. There's definitely a theme.
Yeah, I think it says it was a 5-year single barrel selected by Sealbox.
Yeah, Seal Block pick, 5-year. Barrel C1, 99T, bottle 149.
Let's see where it was. This is MGP.
So
That
you
was
guys
in
are
Indiana.
ready for the second one. This is going to be the theme right here. You guys want to know who did B? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an N and ends with a U. It's also Nulu. It's double oaked.
Ah, the double oak. So that's
Double oaked Nulu, which is funny because I actually have a double oaked Nulu, but mine was from Total Wine. This one was from ADHD Whiskey, and this is a barrel C132, which is 119.4 proof. So another one that I thought was way lower than what it actually is.
yeah. So that's the bottle there. There's the tater sticker. Matt from ADHD Whiskey, double oak.
And I have a bottle of Nulu double oaked, which is funny because I didn't get that at all.
And that is also MGP. So you got 1 point on that one. You got closer on the proof. You're only 10 points off.
Sample C, also Nulu. It is a toasted French oak stave. It had a very beautiful nose. And it was 114 proof. So
You nailed the proof.
got the proof on the money right there.
But it was 115, but you were well within 5. So
That's what did I say? 114 or 116. So we split the difference on that one.
yep, 114.8, and you said 115. So 0.2 off.
So this toasted French oak stave one was a Total Wine Washington exclusive.
Yeah.
So that was really good on the nose, but really reminded me of some Jim Beam and some George Dickel for flavor profile.
Yeah, it was MGP though.
And then the sample D, if you guys couldn't guess after the first, second, and third one being Nulu, the fourth one is also Nulu. And the fourth one is double toasted, finished with toasted French oak staves. And it was 114.8 proof.
Yeah. And you said 113. So you got proof on the last two. So you got 7 points.
It's funny that I thought C and D, were the higher proof ones, and A and B were actually both higher proof than C and D, but the A and B were just a lot easier to drink. They're a lot smoother.
Yeah, so you did pretty good, buddy.
It was not what I thought it would be.
Well, Rusty's flight I sent him was all like wine finishes and stuff like that. I think there was a triple sec finish, a VDN finish. So he got some weird finishes. Yours were all wood finishes.
I did say that. I think I said, I'm like, I didn't think any of these were flavored. I thought these were wood finishes. Now, I didn't get all of the ones that were wood finished, but I did say out of the 4 I've tasted, I'm like, there's no flavored finishes. They're all wood finish. So I got that, I guess. If there was a bonus category, I would have hit that one.
Yeah, so yeah, not bad. You would have competed in a blind with another person, I think.
Did you have to pay $105 plus tax for your Nulu double oaked?
I honestly don't remember what we paid for it. We bought it off of ADHD whiskey probably 3 years ago. So
Because I had bought mine on at Total Wine, and it was like $104.99 before tax, and it's pretty up there in price, but I still bought it.
Nulu's pretty proud of their stuff.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. I was like, some of their stuff's a little bit high. I've started seeing some of the prices come down to like 90s and even high 80s, but it's only because I think they're going to stop carrying them because they're not selling them.
Yeah, I think, when we were getting most of the Nulu stuff, like all the big channels were doing picks. We got some Bourbon Junkie stuff, some ADHD whiskey stuff. And we were kind of into them too when we started seeing them on the shelves out here. We picked up a few that were like the Total Wine picks and Seal Box picks and stuff. But we got out of it pretty quick just because the price was getting out of control on them for young sourced whiskey. But Nulu does finish stuff well. I appreciate the product. I think we were paying in the $80 to $90 range for them back
They're
then.
all very different too. Like I have a flight of 4 different ones, and I would have thought that any of these were the same.
Yeah, I think we've probably got like maybe 10 Nulu bottles that are all different finishes, couple ryes and stuff.
Did you ever pick up their experimental series?
There's a few of the experimental series that we have. Yeah, we've got the Nulu Honey.
Was that a fan favorite? The honey finish on the Nulu?
The honey was real good. We've got the maple finish from the experimental series that was pretty good. I don't remember.
Because I've looked at them a couple times, but I've passed on them. So
yeah, I think my favorite
Laura's
that they
saying
did.
she likes the honey.
Yeah, she's a big fan of that. I think my favorite that they did was the toasted rye.
Okay. I don't think I've had any of the Nulu ryes, only their bourbons. But
Well, hell, I should have sent you a flight of ryes.
I would have really been off the rocker on those. I've dabbled in bourbon a lot more than I have ryes, but I have a strong appreciation for the ryes that I have tried. So
yeah. So pre-flighting or pre-partying your own live stream, that's got to be a new thing.
Yeah, I just kind of thought of it. I was like, hey, all the stuff I need to get done, I got done early. I know you guys work typically later, so I was trying to kind of push back, and I was like 8:30 is kind of like the norm for like the later live streams that I do. But I'm like, since I have so much extra time, I'm like, how funny would it be if I did a pregame live stream to my own stream?
I love it.
Took like a 50-minute break in between to get some extra food in the belly, some more water too, stay hydrated, and kind of play off, because we warmed up the palate before we did this because we want to make sure we weren't doing just fresh. So we did 107 as our first and only pour. I felt like that was high enough proof, but also low enough proof to not really like get in the way.
Yeah. So good stuff.
What's the next plan? What's the next step for the channel? I know you guys got some stuff going on.
Yeah, so this Saturday night, we're starting our blending tournament, Blend Sanity. We've got 18 people. We actually set the field at 16 and had a couple alternates, but it filled up really, really fast, and everybody got their samples to us, so we just expanded to 18. So nice. We're going to start that tournament Saturday, and it'll probably run for a few weeks on our live streams till we crown a winner. Good times. We'll probably, just because of the popularity of it, we're probably going to do it again towards the end of the year and make it into like an Advent blending tournament.
I've got a few blends that I've done myself. One was like all high end Buffalo Trace products, and the other one was all like cheap Buffalo Trace products, like all the benchmarks,
Mm-hmm.
like Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare and Weller Special Reserve. I've got that Poor Man Pappy blend as well that I did. That was also a Buffalo Trace blend. I have like a random one where I couldn't even tell you what's in it, so it'd be terrible for that because I couldn't tell you what I put into it. But it's just a bunch of random stuff that we blend together.
Yeah. Well,
And
we made sure everybody had a unique name for their blend, and they had to record the recipe so it could be repeatable. You know,
perfect.
because
Because some of
you
the
know
ratios that I've done and the refills, like they're very off, so you wouldn't really be able to repeat it.
yeah. You know, I'm hoping that there's going to be some really good blends come out of this. A lot of people put a lot of really good time in it. Gandy Rhodes said he went through like 40 different blends to come up with the one he
So when you're
liked.
talking blends too, are we having some of these blends that might be super simplistic, like just literally 1-to-1 blends of 2 bottles, or are we talking several bottles that are involved? Do you know?
The only rule was it had to be whiskey. It couldn't be a non-whiskey spirit, and it had to be a minimum of 2 bottles.
Okay, so you could do 1-to-1 blends because I have
Yeah.
2 bottles of RD1, and I really like the maple and the Amberana finished as a 1-to-1 ratio. I didn't care for Penelope Rio because it was a little bit too sweet for my liking, so I did a 1-to-1 ratio with Peerless Double Oaked, and I like the way that some of those blends come out. But then when you start doing that, you're like, well, if I can do that with 2 bottles, what can I do with 3 or 4? And then eventually you're like, you either ruin it or you make something that's really special. But if you didn't take notes, then it's like it's so far off that you can't repeat it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. We're gonna give away. I don't know. I think we got like an Eagle Rare store pick is the grand prize.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to
So
get some more bottles picked up so we can do a big giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers if and when I hit that. I say if it's more of when I hit that, but
yeah,
um,
shouldn't be too much longer.
we're gonna try to get 10 of these bad boys,
Oh wow.
and we're gonna try to give away all 10 of them. So we're gonna do $5 per entry, and every $100 in donations. We'll start out with 107 for free, obviously, but then every $100 of donations, we're gonna add an additional bottle till we give away 10 bottles, or people donate whatever they want to donate, samples and stuff to help get us there. But
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Laura's over here like that's a huge giveaway. Yeah, we are actually going to try to do this one big. I feel like that's the only way to really like celebrate like a huge milestone of like full monetization of the channels to do it big. So I think might be the biggest giveaway and probably too big for the success, but at the same time, all the support I can't give back enough for what the support that I've been given. So for
Yeah,
me, I
yeah.
feel like 10's probably not even enough.
Yeah. So Torup asked if we've had the extra Neho cask strength Nulu, and no, we have not. The only tequila finishes we've had, we've had a tequila finished rye at a Bull Run that was not for sale. They're doing a hangout with the bourbon van, and we did a 5 sip Friday with that being the mystery pour, and we really liked that. Um, there were some crazy answers on what people thought it was. Some people thought it was like weed infused whiskey and stuff like that. It had some pretty cool flavors. And then we've got a tequila finished. What is it? The Black Diamond Stranahan's from a couple years ago, I think was Anejo finished. And then we do have a like a Jack Daniel's Tennessee Taster that's tequila finished that's not as good. But so 2 of the 3 that we've tried we've liked. And again, the rye and the single malt. We did not like the Tennessee whiskey from Jack Daniel's finished in tequila.
I've just now started trying tequilas, so to think about having a whiskey or bourbon that's finished them is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, there's some crazy, crazy flavors that those tequilas will put on a good whiskey.
Adictivo makes tequila, but they have a whiskey that's finished in their añejo barrels. So kind of want to see what that's going to taste like, but I don't want to spend the money on it just yet. But it has the same exact tequila bottle, but just for their whiskey. So very dark in color too.
Yeah. On just like a straight tequila, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of tequilas. The smell of it kind of turns my stomach a little. Um, had some bad experience with it when I was much younger, and the smell has kind of stuck with me all these years. So um, trying one that's a whiskey finished in it was a big milestone for me, and I found stuff that I liked. I may get back in and try some actual tequila a little further down the road, but for now I'm good with just the whiskeys, the bourbons, the ryes, the
It's already
scotches,
very
Irish.
expensive with just the bourbon and the whiskeys and the rye.
Yeah, we don't need to go down another path.
I've got 8 samples sitting on my desk that are all tequilas, and I got a couple bottles. So I'm trying to get some people together where they can come over and help me enjoy these. But some pretty big brands of hard to get stuff. I've got Fortaleza, the Repo, and the Anejo.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the G4 Blanco and Madeira. So we've got some pretty popular brands that are pretty sought after allocated bottles of tequila to
Yeah, those are
sample.
like the
So
tequila tater bottles, right?
yeah, we got a bunch of the tater bottles from the tequila, and then Torup has a package that he's going to hand deliver to me as well. With he said I think another 5 tequila samples, so
Nice.
we'll have at least 13 samples to try, kind of get us in the loop. And then Torup, yeah, he said he sent me a list. It said check out the cheat sheet RJ has. Stay away from the additives in your set. So he sent me a list, and it's like from anywhere between like your super high end expensive pours to impress your guest pours for like a reasonable $65 to $95 on the higher ends, but still impressing your guest. Then they got more like a couple budget options, and then some like some daily drinkers and some cheap ones. And then if none of those are available or hard to find, there's another section on the very bottom of like additional options that would still be very reputable. So it's a pretty good tier list, and it kind of gives you an idea on the price that you might pay. The super high end expensive ones are very up there. Yeah, Ryan, I can post them in the Discord. The high end ones go for like $200 or $150 as the cheap end of the high end stuff, all the way up to $500. I mean, some of those tequilas are just as expensive, if not more expensive, than some of the bourbon and whiskeys out there. Like Tears of Leoma, it's like $300 before taxes, and the Cabal was like 275, 280 before taxes. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things where it's like, well, if I like whiskey, bourbon, ryes, and I try to get into tequilas, like we might go down a very deep rabbit hole. I
Yeah,
might spend
yeah,
a lot more than I'm comfortable spending.
yeah. And I mean, we've recently picked up a pretty solid rum that is it sips like a whiskey, and I could see us going down that rabbit hole real easy too. And we're just trying not to. It's bad enough we expanded from bourbon to rye to Irish to Scotch.
A lot of your
We
rums are pretty affordable though, as far as your availability, like the ones that are available in your area.
Yeah,
Some of the more exclusive ones, obviously, you're gonna have to pay extra for them, but a lot of the higher age stated rums it's kind of high age stated rums almost like a norm. Like it's not as uncommon, unpopular for bourbon because I think the supply and demand, there's just too much demand and not enough supply to have a lot of high age stated whiskeys without having a lot of investment, a lot of time, a lot of money involved to even have something that's above, I would say, 10 years.
yeah, yeah. I think the one we the one we picked up was 18, and I think we paid like $50 for it. It was bourbon barrel aged and ex bourbon barrel and new American oak. So just the fact that they can put an 18-year-old product out for $50 is insane to me.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree. I bought some high end bottles too of like the Dorleys. I bought like I think it was a 14 or 15 year for my supervisor, and I think it was like 85, $90. But I mean, you think about 15 plus years in the whiskey community, like trying to find a 15-year whiskey, like you're gonna pay typically a lot more than $100.
Yeah, yeah. I think Dave's looking for some tater rum bottles.
We might have to like build a list of tater rum bottles because I think that would be funny to have like the
You put
taters of all spirits.
Yeah, you put that list out, and Dave's gonna have half of them in a month.
Dave like rum,
Dave likes taters.
just likes taters.
Tater Dave.
He sends some absolute bangers. I got some samples from him along with two more stout beers for me and my dad to try together.
Yeah,
And out of the samples, I was opening up these bags and looking at them. I'm like, man, some of these are pretty crazy. And to think that he keeps a list on what he sends to people and to never send a duplicate is even more crazy to me.
yeah. You'll never meet a more generous and detail oriented gentleman than Dave Vogel saying he is a true friend to this entire whiskey community.
I got
We,
another
we
bottle for him too.
look at that.
Hype or not, Troy, hype or not, he loves it. We're gonna make sure he gets taken care of.
Well, if you watched our live last Saturday with Bourbon Van, they were huge fans too, and we don't dislike the bottle. We just thought it was the hype.
Overhyped.
The hype was a bit extreme on it.
Well, it's taken off now. They have secondary value. People pay $90 to $110 for that bottle now, which I think is ridiculous because that means that now that they're catching on, they're even harder to get. And I've pretty much bought all the ones out in my area possible. I actually got these two bottles from a friend that picked them up when he was working pretty far outside the Metroplex area. So, but the price is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to reach out to Brian Fisher from Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts. I hear that uh, they're pretty plentiful in the Buffalo area.
Yeah, no, I saw when Brian was posting on Facebook, they started getting a bunch up there, and I'm like, man, that's crazy because they're selling out down here. The only guys I can have that can get the bottles are the ones that work and live near the distillery because we got Locktar. He actually works at the distillery,
Oh, okay.
so we still got connections that are further south in San Antonio where the distillery is. But when I started seeing them pop up in New York, I'm like, how the hell are they getting them in New York? And we're like 4 hours north, and we can't even find them anymore.
Yeah. So, Mike Brock, are you liking that Rebel Small Batch Reserve? That's, in my opinion, one of the better $30 bottles out there right now.
Honestly, the entire Rebel brand is just really solid. From the cheapest bottle, probably being like the Rebel 100 that I would pick up from them. It's just easy drinker. I've never had anything bad from them.
Yeah, that small batch reserve though, and I don't know if like the Rebel 100 and like the distiller selects or whatever they are, they're single barrels that they put out at cask strength. I don't know if those are the same distillate as the small batch reserve. It's the same distillate as the Rebel 10 year, which was the Sourced Heaven Hill, rumored to be the same old Fitz uh, mash bill. So, it's just younger. The small batch reserve is like 4 to 6 years old, but it's fantastic, and it's coming in 110 proof for a $30 bottle. That's pretty
Absolutely
good proof
crushing it.
point. Yeah,
Yeah. I think the most expensive bottle from the Rebel lineup, I think, is like around 70 or $80 from what I've seen too. So they're very competitive on pricing. I think they beat out a lot of companies and distilleries out there for the money.
yeah. I've seen that Rebel 10 year bottle as high as like 115. I wouldn't pay that much for it. I think we picked ours up for around 80, and we've drank through at least one, if not two. It's a very very good weeded bourbon.
Mike Brock said run from the Rebel 6 year, so I guess the Rebel 6 year was not good. 23 store Rebel store picks for 126 proof locally, just sitting there for $40. Spot three, but there's 100 left. It's good, but I got enough.
Yeah,
That's a topic too. If you have a bottle that you really like, how many bottles are you willing to buy to make sure you have a bottle to have opened and a backup bottle, but then past that, like how many more do you actually have? Or would you be willing to have if it's your absolute favorite? Like,
so I mean we've got a couple bottles that we've got multiples of, but but typically Laura and I are not backing up a lot of stuff. We've got more whiskey here than we'll ever be able to drink, which is why we give away so much. But when we finish a bottle, we're typically trying to move on to something else, something different. Um, People ask all the time too. What's your favorite daily, and we don't really have one because I can't. Like tonight on your stream right now, I poured 2 pours of this wheelhorse pick, and it's probably the first time in 6 months that I've poured back to back pours of the same thing. We're just trying to mix it up and keep things fresh. So we don't typically buy a lot of backups. Every now and then bottles will come along where you want another one of those. We got a backup of that Kentucky Spirit Camp Nelson F, and because that was one of my favorites. And then we got a backup of the Bullet 12-year rye because that was one of Laura's favorites. Other than that, I can't remember the last time we bought backups of something.
Matt says you guys have enough Elijah Craig barrel proofs to build a house.
Yeah, but they're all different.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna get at too. It's like it sounds like you're pretty similar on what I have, where it's like I have a lot of the same distillery. Like I have a lot of Old Forester Blue labels, and I'm getting even more. In the next couple days, I got a shipment that's on the way. But they're different warehouses, they're different floors, they're different proof points, they're different picks. But I don't really carry more than just like, maybe 2 or 3 of the same exact bottle at one time. And even then, it's like I'm not afraid to give it away or open it or share it. So for me, it's like I have 4 Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon, but they're all 4 different years. They're all different proof points. I got 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. So Rebecca Creek, double barrel Spanish oak. Counting the 2 that I just acquired today, I've got 3. I got 1 that's open and 2 backups. And then honestly, just I have a lot of one-offs.
Yeah,
I like the variety. I don't like having to drink the same thing. I don't want to be boring and basic. I want to have all this enjoyment from all these extra pours and different pours.
yeah. What's the big Texas whiskey that Shaman's always pushing? Andalusia or something like that?
Yeah. I try to sample from him. I think I still have that sample sitting around with a little bit more. Let's see if I have it right here. Andalusia Revenant Oak, peated single malt, 124.6 proof. Sorry, it's written on like this little painter's tape, so it's in written Sharpie, kind of difficult to read. But yeah, I've got a little bit left, but he pushed this pretty hard.
Yeah, I think the way he talks about it, it's like some of the best Texas stuff out there. So, what did you think of it when you tried that sample?
Single malt are pretty rough for me. I'll be honest. I'm not opposed, but I'm not for.
Gotcha.
Tried some right now, actually. It's been a while.
So you did pretty good tonight in the blind. You think you're ready to take on the trash pallet challenge? I think, the way we're talking about doing it is, I mean, Matt could probably explain it better than me, but it's like the Mike Tyson thing where you gotta beat the bottom guy and work your way up the ladder. So you'd be up against Matt in the first round if you're interested. Yeah, Matt was the bottom guy.
I mean, I'm never ready, but at the same time, I don't mind trying something new and different. I
mean,
enjoy stuff like this.
I mean, I don't know that you could do much worse. He got 0 on the last one.
So as long as I get at least 1.
Sean got 1. You would be in elite company there.
Hey, that's what makes it fun, though, and that's another reason why I tried to showcase in the first stream that this was still in the envelope, sealed, like it hadn't been tampered with or touched. And
yeah.
Just before you had popped on, we were popping the plastic off of the samples because we didn't even have a chance to smell them first or pour up any of them. So we did everything as close as we could to being underneath heavy scrutiny.
yeah, Matt, you nailed the Dickel 15, but you called it the allocated.
I mean, Dickel 15 might be allocated in some states.
He thought it was the Boondocks, and it was Sean's blend.
Hey, I like Boondocks.
I liked it too. I think Dave's the only trash pellet that didn't like
Dave
it.
Vogelsang absolutely cannot stand it. He hates it. He posts the freaking vomiting emoji every time we mention it.
Yeah, I think he got some dish soap under the cap or something.
I told him, I said, hey, well, I just sent him a box, but I'm like, I can add a extra sample in there at Boondocks 18 so you can revisit it. He said
Send
he'd
it,
probably
send
just
it to him
drain for it.
blind. Send it to him blind.
But we sent him some pretty good stuff, so I'm hoping he'll be happy with it. I mean, that guy, his generosity, Dave sends some of the craziest stuff out there, so it's like I can't ever compete with that. I just can't.
No, I mean, yeah, nobody can compete with Dave, and you shouldn't even try. Like the guy showed us he was on a live stream one night and showed us his collection, and it's insane. I hope you got that insured, Dave.
I can't even remember what all I sent him. I just boxed it up, and I don't even remember what I put in there.
If I send Dave stuff, it's single barrels that I know he doesn't have access to.
Well, that's why it's like it's good. If someone's like, "Hey, send me something I've never had before," I'm like, "Great, I got one." It's a single barrel that there's only 264 bottles of. It's 119 proof. I'm like, it's a J. Mattingling 1845 blend. I'm like, no one's ever had this.
Yeah, if it's got that many bottles, Dave's probably got two of them.
What, 264? You think that's too many? We need more one-offs.
Yeah.
Baker drinks 17 points to 3. Live from the patios in the house. Cast 529. We got Daniel in the house still. Gandy's here. Paul, I just met up with Paul locally and was able to hand deliver him his winnings. He won a Evan Williams single barrel vintage, so we're able to hand that to him.
Heck yeah.
That's the best thing about all these guys that are supporting. We have a lot of local people, so I'm like, man, the odds are in my favor if all these guys enter in these giveaways to make things a lot easier for me.
Heck yeah. Save on them shipping costs.
I want to find a way to do like a local meetup without having any kind of like responsibilities that come up with that, because when you're talking about indulging in alcohol and people being in vehicles and having to Uber home or Uber there, picking a spot, I kind of want to try to find like an event or venue place, like a hotel that would have like a lounge that we could hang out in, to where no one's going to have to really worry about going anywhere. They can just, pay for a night at the hotel, and that be kind of like their buy-in to get there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it. You just got to find a place that's, not like too public, that they would accommodate something like that.
Hey, got the $4.99 super chat from Paul.
Awesome.
That guy said he's busy as hell. He came with his work truck when he came to pick up that bottle, and he said during summer, he said it's nonstop all day, every day. He said it's hot out there too. We're in Texas, so we're talking 90 plus degrees right now. If it's going to be anything like last summer, I'm expecting another 30 consecutive days with 100 plus degree weather. Kind of worried about that.
Yeah. Hey, not to change the subject, how much did you spend on shipping through Pirate Ship in the last year?
I'll stream it. Let me pull it up. I love transparency, and I have no problem sharing this. So
I bet it's a pretty good number.
It's up there. See reports. Let me get this filtered. You said just last year?
Yeah, just like in the last year.
Let's do last. If they have last, custom range, current year.
Yeah, just do current year.
Current year, okay. And we'll end up sharing all of it because I don't mind, but we'll start with the lower number first. So let's see, present, share screen.
Just to give people a little perspective. So
now some of you guys do contribute to shipping, so don't think I paid this. but this is how much pirate shipping saved me. That's not what I paid. That's how much they saved me. So,
Yep.
and shipping costs, pirate shipping will give you rates that can save you up to 50%, sometimes more, sometimes less.
Mm-hmm.
You saved $1,133, and that's for the current year is what it's selected as. And then this was the total shipping cost that we spent so far was $956.49. That's the current year. Now let's switch this to all time so you guys can see this. Now, there's not much of a difference on how much it saved me because honestly, we haven't been doing this for much more than a year. Like we found out about pirate shipping late. We had been sending stuff other ways, but there's the total shipping cost that we spent. So $1,160.75 to kind of put it in perspective on how much I've actually spent. And there's times where we've sent a ton of packages. So, and it's kind of cool because you can scroll down and it'll tell you your total number of shipments that you've sent. So over the lifetime of me having a pirate shipping account, I've sent 117 shipments. And in February, we sent 30, and in March, we sent 29. So in 2 months, we did 60 of those, which is more than half of the lifetime of our pirate shipping account. We did 2 months. And then it shows us the states that it shows. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen this. If you scroll down on the front page.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It'll show you, like, at 10% of my shipments are California, 12 is Texas. We get a lot to Georgia, about 10%, and 11% to Florida. And you can kind of see all the states you've sent to. We've only sent 0.85% to Washington. I wonder why. Man, it's expensive to ship up there, though. I don't want to show off everybody's name, so we'll scroll back up. But yeah, pretty crazy. $1,160 in shipping cost, and pirate shipping saved us $1,336. So definitely not cheap. Definitely not cheap.
Yeah, we're at about 1,500 saved and about 1,500 spent. I can only imagine what Dave's at.
What's very impressive that I didn't know about till Riley told me, when you go to Pirate Ship and you look at the very top in that center area, there's an option to click schedule pickup. Yeah. And as long as you're scheduling a day or two out on like a day that you're off and it's not like a holiday, it's only $4.25 for them to come to my house and pick up packages. And they'll take as many as I have. As long as they're under 70 pounds, they'll take 99 packages for one payment of $4.25. Now, I always help them load them on the truck, but I've had some of them come pick them up. So it's pretty crazy. Jesus is saying, dang, Cali shipments. Yeah, Jesus, I got one more for you. We get a box up. But yeah, we're going to have some more Cali shipments. We get a lot of guys out there in California, which is how I've been actually getting some of this tequila stuff like the Fortaleza. So I've got a bunch of Fortaleza bottles, some tequila. I've got the Blanco. Got 2 of them, and then I got the still strength. Got a still strength here as well, so some of that stuff we just don't see here. But that's crazy. You said $1,500 in pirate shipping?
Yeah, let me pull it up here so I can give you the exact numbers. Yeah, so it saved us $1,635.55, and we've spent $1,742.90.
I started my channel in like August of last year too, so I'm assuming you had your channel running before then.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't sending out a ton of stuff way back.
It's tough early on to justify it and show the support.
Looks like about June last year is when we really started ramping up, and then it peaked like in December because we sent out all of our Patreon stuff, and it's probably been averaging probably over $100 a month, $120 to $200 a month since then.
And I don't think people realize like that's not to ship something. That's just to get the box from A to B. That's not counting the actual boxes. That's not counting tape. That's not counting bubble wrap. That's not counting sample bottles. That's just to get box from A to B. So I think people forget that too.
I've sent 19 shipments to Indiana, 20 to Georgia, 21 to California, 22 to Illinois, 18 to where all is it?
I need to send a few more to Illinois.
Yeah.
Man,
And
I drank that pour that you told me about from Whiskey Shaman pushing that Andalusia.
mm-hmm.
I can't endorse that. I can't get behind that. I mean,
No.
he likes Scotch though. He likes some single malts. He likes some of that peated smoky flavors. So I can wholeheartedly say if you guys like Scotch or you like some of that peated smokiness that comes through, that's gonna be right up your alley. So I can happily endorse that if that's the flavor profile you like. But for me, it's a no go. But I can see the appeal to it.
Sure. Yeah. Well, RJ, I think I'm gonna head out and spend some time with the family before it gets too much later here.
Absolutely. I'm going to finish drinking this Starlight French Oak Stave and then the last one, the double toasted. Once I finish my little flight board, polish them off, I'll probably be cutting the live and moving over to Discord.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you showcasing this on a live stream. That was a lot of fun. And and you didn't do too bad.
Embarrassed. I did better than I thought.
Yeah, you didn't do too bad. Like I said, you don't try to bottle guess from the start. You narrow it down, man. Start with the type, finish proof. Just go right in order like that, and you'll do pretty good every time.
That's good to hear because my nerves are calmed down now, and we've had some pours to help with that. So
yeah. So I'll see you later, everyone in chat. We'll see you guys.
Spend time with family and enjoy.
Yep.
Cheers.
Take care, buddy.
All right. If anybody wants to come on, we're going to finish these two pours up. Maybe have one other pour. We'll see. Then we'll probably give away a sample pack. If we get enough support, might just give away an Eagle Rare. We'll see. Got an Eagle Rare extra one we can give away. Otherwise, we'll give away some sample packs. Oh, take the hat off. That way we can lean back. Here's a freaking mess. Always need a haircut. Ooh. Dave said he's calling it a night. Early golf scramble tomorrow. Good luck, sir. I love this bear channel. Well, I don't know about me being a bear, but especially with a second kid being on the way, but I can represent. French oak stave finish. You think I'm the person that says I don't like French oak stave, and then I find some pours that I actually like. Yes, I actually do have one to give away. I know last time I gave away one too many, but hey, you got a store pick. So I know it was open, but at least you got a store pick. You got an upgrade. The Bourbon bitch, what is up? Okay, you said you did yard work. You're still wearing the same shirt though. Should I be concerned? I'm gonna bring him on.
Yep.
Have you had a shower yet, sir?
I have not. I went I went to bed earlier and now I'm back. Just want to say that. Yeah.
You like that? We did like an hour and 20-minute live stream as a pregame live stream to
Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
Warm up with some 107.
Yeah, I've been making rounds, man. I've been making rounds.
There we go. Cass said Rusty's making the rounds.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
He actually said that before you said that too. That's funny.
Crazy.
It just really popped up. He called it.
Yep. Dang it. Where did okay, there we go.
I'll trade you for a sealed eagle.
Bourbon nerd, what's up, buddy?
Man, those live from the patio guys, those guys are some crazy people. I've said it and I'll say it again. If I lived over there, I'd be in trouble every day.
I know, right? I'm trying to get on a live with them, but they keep going live and I keep missing it and I'm freaking hating it. But I don't know. They think they want to get on a live with us, but no. They don't.
I'll be excited when they go live and I actually get notified for it, just like half these other channels.
Yeah, I don't know.
You subscribe to channels, you turn the little notification bell on, and you still don't get freaking notified for live streams. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I know Torp was in chat. I don't know if he's still in chat, but Torp was a guy who was like, he wouldn't get notified either. Is crazy.
yeah. I want to go. I'm just going to drive to the patio. Is what I need to do. Exactly. Cask 529. You know what? I think somebody needs to plan something and just everybody just go to the patio. I mean, it's kind of central.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Central. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? Let me see if I can read this long message that I got. Someone's working on a pick for me for an Old Forester pick.
Party on the patio.
Trying to pick up a bottle, man, it's like almost impossible.
Yeah, if I have enough notice, because it's my wife is a limiting factor. I can freaking take off whenever I want, but the wife has to have a little bit of a notice. But I'm talking about, don't think I won't freaking drive up there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wish it wasn't such a freaking far drive and I didn't have so many commitments. I would definitely be traveling and about all the time.
I don't think it would be all that far for you. I don't think it'd be as far for you as it would for me, would it? Because they're like in Missouri, right? I think.
Texas is pretty big.
big. Yeah. Okay. I did drive to Fort Worth back in 2019, and it did take us about, I think it was 12 hours from here. So might even been longer than that.
Arkansas.
Okay, Arkansas. Whatever. West Memphis. All right, so that's like 4 or 5. No, well, that's 5 or 6 hours.
I can figure it out. I've got Marty's address and I've got the Bourbon bitch. I got her address, so I could plug it in and see where we're
7
at.
7 hours. He says. Craig and Bowden says 7 hours from you. That's not that far. What's up, Bloody 81?
You say 7 hours isn't that far? That would not be a day trip, though. That would have to be at least a weekend trip.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
And you guys also forget my weekend is Monday, Tuesday.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Who would have thought that the blind was going to all be Nulu?
What's up, Hazmat Compton?
And the flavor profile is just so like different. Like I really thought I had a Jim Beam George Dickel in front of me.
Whiskey Corner. What's up, Carlos?
Carlos was in chat earlier too. I think I just missed him as far as conversating. I hate interrupting people, but yeah, Carlos had joined earlier. 9:32, so he's been here for like 15 minutes.
Oh, 9 hours. I mean, in the scheme of things, 9 hours is really not that far. That's like right at the limit.
I refuse
to drive, but
I refuse driving further than 5 hours. I would fly.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So the fact that Craig said he's 7 hours away from me, I promise you, I'm not driving. I'm flying.
It would be a hell of a party. So I gotta ask, Patio, y'all got enough room? If I brought a tiny little camper, like I could, like drop my
in the front yard or something.
Yeah, because I got one of those little teardrop campers. I mean,
I think the Sample D, which is a double toasted Total Wine exclusive, Washington exclusive, is actually the favorite of the lineup.
Oh yeah.
Total Wine's normally trash for me too. I could take more bourbon if I drove. I would just be flying with like my aged in ore kit of samples of like the absolute craziest shit for the carry-on. And I'd probably put like just 2 bottles that we could fresh crack and kill. 2 fresh bottles in the checked bag is probably what I would do. And then as far as bringing anything home, I plan to drink everything. We're not bringing nothing home.
Yeah.
I do want to kind of do a DFW meetup, Paul. What I'm thinking is we were just kind of talking about this a little bit. The idea would be to probably do something along the lines of finding like a hotel that would allow us to use their bar / lobby. Obviously, we don't want to be tied to a bar because then we have to buy stuff there, and I don't want to have to buy stuff there. I'd rather be able to do a bottle share within some kind of control, and then everybody's able to just pay for a hotel night, which would probably be, probably 150, $200 a night, which more than a lot of people would probably want to pay. But at the end of the day, like, you don't have to drive, you don't have to Uber. You're already there. You're staying the night. You're having a place there. Be nice to have like one of those conference rooms that'd be open up just for us to do like a whiskey bottle share, and then I could freaking live stream it because that'd be awesome. But I just don't want to take any responsibility of trying to do like a meetup at a house. Some of these guys do meetups at their house. I know the Someone Say Whiskey Facebook group that you're in with me. I know they do meetups at their house. I just feel like there's a lot of liability there. I mean, some people like get behind the wheel and driving afterwards. You can't force everyone to Uber, unfortunately, but you also don't want to allow someone to drive. So I don't want to take responsibility for that.
Yeah, well, not only that, but I mean, there's a certain amount of you're letting strangers. Yes, you talk to these people on the internet. You don't have any idea how they're going to be 2 or 3 sheets into the wind. You don't know what shit's going to get broke at your house, spilled on, puked on, whatever. So, I mean, you got to take all of that into consideration. And
yeah.
Small
local group, friends and family. Like, I don't mind doing something like that. Couple extended friends outside of that. But anything above that, I want to do that at like somewhere else. I don't want to go too crazy. I'll stay at a cheap roach motel with all the hookers and drug dealers so I can have a good time.
Don't put everything out there, Lopez. Come on, man.
Sounds like a normal weekend at the patio. Ayo. It's funny too, because I was talking about life in the patio. I was like, hey, if you're lucky, the bourbon bitch will actually share that 13 Colony 15th anniversary sample with you guys. And then she's like, I think I'm going to share that with a friend. And then I made a comment about life in the patio. It's like, I didn't say life in the patio. Like, I didn't either. I said, you want it. And matter of fact, if you refuse to share it with him, I think that'd be hilarious. Just win all this stuff and then never share it with him. They're the guys with the YouTube channel that do the hangouts, and you don't even share pours with them. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, that's right, Gandy. It's not a party till something gets broke. Yeah. I've had to deal with that shit.
Either that or you just got people that want to like stomp around your house with muddy shoes.
Yeah, that too.
Personal experience. Luckily we have tile, but it's still a pain to clean up. Well, I finished my 4 pours. I don't really want to pour anything else up until I switch over to Discord. What? Unless you have something you want to pour up. Are you allowed to pour up anything?
Yeah, I'm pouring up.
I don't have any of that.
Come on, man. You need to try some of this.
I don't have any of that.
Maybe I need to send you a sample.
What else are you allowed to pour up?
I'm not allowed to pour up anything. So this is what I've had so far today. This was a new
fresh crack.
So that probably should be my last one, actually.
I can't match your energy on that one, but we'll pour up some Larceny Barrel Proof B524.
Dude. Hell yeah, man.
We got the new Larceny the other day, so we'll pour some of that up.
So the wife found Elijah Craig, and I was like, "Are you sure?" She said, "Yeah, B522."
It's an old one.
Yeah, I was like, "Really? Where in the hell did that come from?" Just out of nowhere.
Some of these bottles they don't sell, man. They just sit there.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, from comparison perspective, the B524 Larceny compared to the A124, the B524 is a lot more heavy on the wheat. Okay. It's not as smooth and has those fruity notes like the A124 does. The A124 has like this hot cherry note, and the B524 is just a very heavy wheater. but that wheat flavor is still pretty good. And we're talking 125.4 proof.
Okay.
Yeah, 125.4 proof. I think, in my opinion, the Larceny barrel proofs are just that much better than the Elijah Craig barrel proofs. Like, I've never had a good yearly batch from Elijah Craig that was a barrel proof. I've had some good private barrels, but as far as the yearly release, I think Larson does it better. But that's just my flavor profile. So
yeah.
Easy drinker for how high proof it is. Easy drinker, very dangerous.
Yup. Man, you put the link out there. Really, Gandy? You're not going to jump in here live from the patio? Come on, man. You could click the link and jump in here with us, man, and talk about what you're having. I mean, come on.
I've noticed there's certain channels that people will go live on, but most people stay away from mine because they're afraid my shirt's going to come off.
What? Nah. Whatever.
Hey,
you take your
shirt off. Would you rather my shirt come off, or would you rather Rusty continue to wear the shirt that he mowed the yard in?
I mean, I'll take it off. I've been sitting here watching videos. I ain't had a chance to jump up or watching lives. I haven't had a chance to, let's lose that shirt. No, Lopez, you might like it. I'm just saying. No.
Got the Weller foolproof one. I wish I would have thought about it though. Like, fuck, man. John mentioned that I should have done foolproof as the last name on the back instead of Weller, and then done 114 for the number. I could have done 107 for Weller Antique, and then put Antique as the last name for the Weller 107, and then Weller 12. We could have put well, I mean, I guess you just put Weller for the last one on that one, but for 12, you could put the or you could spell out 12, what? I guess, and then
I guess they want us to take the shirts off, man. Do we need to take them off?
Yeah, I'll take mine off. I don't care.
Let's go. I don't know.
You don't have to beg me twice.
There we go. Yeah.
No one's coming on the live stream now.
What? Come on. Come on. What the hell?
No one's coming on the live stream now.
Jeez.
Jesus wanted to see Matt take his shirt off the other day, but Matt wouldn't do it until he got over to Discord. And then all the guys that were surprised that Matt took his shirt off in Discord, I said, this isn't his first time taking his shirt off. He's taken it off several times on behind the scenes, behind the stage.
What? Unsub?
Asked to take says, let's lose that shirt, and then unsubs.
Wow.
Says unsubs, but looks like I gained a subscriber, so I can't tell if he just now subscribed, but I didn't get a list.
Damn it, Lopez.
Man, the craziest part is I don't know if you have YouTube on your phone for the studio app, but there's a fourth category now there for estimated revenue. That's the craziest shit whenever that pops up.
Yeah, I don't have that shit.
Like,
whatever.
One day, man, the fact that you're willing to do a top 5 list on the side of a freaking freeway on the overpass with cars driving by you, come on now.
I don't. That's right. Right there. Smooth.
It's like no freaking hair. I've never really grown chest hair. They've always been really fine hairs.
Yeah,
This wants to know where Matt's at.
No, I don't never expect to, jump up there and make money. I like doing this. I like jumping on your lives and jumping on, Bourbon and Balls and Whiskey Wisdom, and just freaking hanging out and having fun. And
good night, Paul. Have a good night, brother.
Good night, Paul.
Yeah, that's the thing that was kind of crazy when I saw like you have the channel like the Off Track Syndicate, and how it's more of like a talk show, but it's got like a lot of funny comical humor in it. In my opinion, it fits a lot of people's perspectives, and I don't think it's that offensive to certain people. I think that fits a lot of people's comedy. So the fact that you guys haven't taken off kind of surprises me.
Yeah. Well, we don't have the producer, and we don't have the money, and we don't, you I don't know. I don't have the time to put into it. Any of it really. We just do what we can, and it is what it is. We got enough Patreon people on Off Track that it pays for some of the stuff that we want to do, and it keeps us going.
It's tough with a YouTube channel on like what you dedicate your time and money to, because it's like at what point is there diminishing returns, and what point are you investing too much into it? And that's not necessarily a money aspect of it, although that does have a big part of it. It's the time, the amount of time that some people put into their channels is tremendous. I mean,
yeah.
I like to say that the amount of time I put in, although might seem to be high, is very low, minimal effort. I do almost everything now live, very few videos.
Right. Yeah.
I refuse to do almost any editing. I want you guys to see the raw, unedited footage. I mean, we literally did a blinds. We got our freaking flight board with our 4 Glencairns. We had our four samples. We fresh cracked and poured them on stream. We kind of showcased them, talked about them a little bit. We had Troy come in and save the day on helping us, talking and walking us through it.
Yeah.
And we performed to what he would say would be a pretty good standard, but I would not have guessed that all 4 of these were Nulu pours. Would never have guessed that. The finished, we didn't guess which necessarily ones were finished except for one, but we guessed that there was 2 of them that were finished, 2 of them that were unfinished. Obviously, we were wrong. We got 1 that was right and one that was 2 that were right and 2 that were wrong, but because we mixed them up. But if that's all it is for guessing blinds, like I would say relatively close on proof, which we did tonight. And I think I could get relatively close on whether it's finished or not, bourbon or rye. It's tough, though, because some of those flavor profiles to say, is that just the flavor from the oak, from the barrel, or is that a wood finish? Because these were all wood finish. These weren't flavored whiskeys, which is what, in my opinion, made it harder. But I don't know. I had fun. I definitely had fun.
Gandy. Good night, Gandy.
Jesus said he liked Rusty's late night live stream.
Yeah, so I did one a couple of nights ago. I'm kind of fuzzy on it, but I did a late night live stream. Cask 529, they've not delved into learning how to open a live. I can help you with all that. I can tell you what I've learned, and the different stuff. But so like I've gone a step further. So like right now I could put out a phone number and people could call, and I could, I don't know if I think I could patch it in here. I think.
Yeah, because you have a phone number just for Off Track Syndicate channel for them to call in for the game.
Right. So, and I have it connected. I think it would work. I think if somebody called, if I put this number out, somebody could call, and I think it would patch it in. If you want to try that, we can.
You can if you want, just to kind of showcase some of the cool features on what Off Track Syndicate actually has.
2390. Yeah, but here's the thing. See, StreamYard it's kind of funky. I think it'll work, but it might not. I don't know. So like I have a soundboard that I can use when I'm on YouTube or on Zoom, and it works. But if I try to play my soundboard through here, StreamYard cuts it. It won't go through, and I don't know why. It's whatever their proprietary thing is. But somebody call that number and let's see if I can if you'll patch through anybody. Bloody 81, call that number. Cask 529. When you guys call
maybe I can find a way through the software to open up permissions for certain users, because I feel like anyone who's on board on the stream, they should have permissions.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's up, Will? Said let the nips out. Yeah.
Cheers, Joe. What's up?
Independent Joe.
Come on, guys. Somebody call that number right there.
We just finished a blind. Independent Joe from Laura and Troy Baker Drink sent us a blind. It was 4 Nulu pours. We would have never guessed Nulu was the brands that was for this. A lot of their stuff sourced, but the flavor profiles on all 4 were very different. We would have been really off. Okay, fellers. Out. Cheers. Good night, Craig.
Good night, Craig.
Craig was behind the idea of these too, even though we're probably going to get a cease and desist letter eventually from Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Got the Weller foolproof, and these aren't.
Oh, here we go.
He's getting a call. He's getting someone's call.
Here we go. Let's see. We got a caller calling from Arkansas. Caller, state your name.
Hey, this is Chill Will Rocco. What's happening?
Hey, the audio's coming through nice and clear.
Will, what is up,
You got
bud?
Chill Will calling in.
How much, guys? How you doing tonight?
We're kind of just hanging out. That's awesome. That's great. See, that's crazy. It'll let that go through, but I can't play a freaking sounder and it go through. I
We're
think
just
I know how to
showcasing some of the
bypass
features he has from Off Track Syndicate, where he's got like a phone number just for the channel, so people can call in and participate via phone call. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So here's the thing with the phone. The older, if you have some older people that don't really care about texting or internet, you can get a phone number for $200 a year. That's what we pay for this phone right here. $200 a year. That's like what, $15, $16 a month? It's crazy. Or $17. It's somewhere right in there. But
$16.66 or
there you go. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, $200 a year and unlimited calling. There's a little bit of text and a little tiny bit of internet, but all we use it for is the phone. But yeah.
It's like calling into a talk radio show.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Do what, you will?
It's like calling into a talk radio show.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. So what was your first car, Chill Will? What was your first car?
1967 Ford pickup.
Okay. Nice.
And what was your mother's maiden name?
Yeah. No.
I can't tell you that.
So
what about your first dog's name?
No,
I don't have a dog.
No.
Did it have asking all the skinny related questions?
Did it have a straight 6 or 302?
Yeah, it was the 300 straight 6.
Yeah.
The inline power machine.
Yes, sir. Hey, those are stout. Those are stout little motors. The 300s, especially when you got up into the 90s when they put the the fuel injection on them. Those were cool little motors. They turbocharged one over on Motor Trend or Power Nation or whatever, and got like 500 horsepower all day long out of them straight 6 300s. So yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I've still got it sitting in the field down there. Hopefully restore it one day. So
being able to call in though and do this is just one of those cool features you can showcase.
Hell yeah, man. I love being able to do this. Yeah. It's just weird that StreamYard freaking kills.
We'll let you use the soundboard, but we'll let you use.
But I think I have a bypass to it. I just have to get a couple of different little wires. I think if I wide off a couple of wires, I think I could actually play my sound. I just haven't done it yet. I just haven't played around.
Play through as a microphone input instead of play through as a third party.
Yep. Yeah, I think
that'd be the workaround. Yeah.
I don't know. But cool. What are you sipping on, Chill Will?
Just water tonight. Yeah, I'm still in the treatment, so probably won't have anything till next week.
Oh shit! I didn't know you were in treatment, buddy.
Yeah. Just don't want to mix the meds and the alcohol. So.
Oh yeah. I get it. So. All right. What else? What else you got?
I mean, I just saw you throw the phone number up, and I thought, well, hey, I'll call in and see what you guys are up to, and try out your phone line. And
hell yeah, man!
That's
awesome, dude. Hey, did you catch Off Track Sunday?
No, I did not. No,
that's all right. That's okay.
Yeah,
don't worry. You didn't miss nothing. It was it was
already undercutting yourself before you can advertise.
It was terrible. It was terrible. I mean, you could go, like watch a minute or two, but I don't know.
Yeah, I usually go catch up on that stuff later on, if I miss some of the lives, I'll go back and watch them again sometimes and see what was going
That's an
on.
interesting question.
So,
there is like how many live streams do you find yourself re-watching? Because I feel like that's a pretty popular thing where people say, I only watch a live if it's live. I never catch the replay.
So I've watched several lives that I, couldn't be a part of or couldn't watch or whatever. So I don't
Do
know.
you
It just
find
kind of
yourself
depends.
skimming through the live more heavily, or do you find yourself more deeply involved in watching the replay?
I guess it depends on how it's going. Yes, I have caught myself skimming a couple,
I mean, I
but
skim even regular videos. So, I mean, on lives, I feel like I skim even more because there's a lot more to skim.
right.
yeah, and I mean, since it's not live, you don't get the interaction in the chat,
Right.
But if it's something pretty interesting, you can go through and hit all the highlights for sure.
I will say for anybody that's currently watching, out of our 20 viewers, if you guys do catch a replay, feel free to comment and just kind of say, hey, I caught it on the replay, and then whatever you guys want to comment on, because that helps me kind of get the numbers and the idea on what people actually watch. Because for a channel now that's almost all live stream and almost no video, I know I'm probably hurting my numbers, but at the same time, I really, really like live streams because I can live interact with you guys. Like when you guys have questions, you see a bottle that you like, or you want to know a price on something, or you see me pick up a bottle, or you're recommending me to buy a bottle because you want to have a bottle as well. I don't mind picking up a bottle for one of you guys and making deals. I think that's the cool part about doing the live, but I do feel like I hurt myself sometimes on the watch time on the replays.
Right. Yeah, I love the live aspect, being able to interact with the people in the chat, or like interacting. But I feel like people in the chat want you to recognize that they're there, and call them out, it's like the radio, it's like radio shows. People want to, they want to be recognized that they're listening. And
yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of people like to have their comments read on the stream,
yes,
but I talk to other people in the comments, and I've gotten good recipes for old fashions and things like that, just from other people in the comments. So that's valuable to me.
And I've had some on the AM side where I do the bourbon hunts, where I've had people now tuning in from other countries that will have conversations in my chat in another language, but both parties will still interact with us in English, which is really freaking cool.
yeah,
Because we got some guys that are from Poland that have been tuning into the channel. So when I see those guys pop in and they start talking, and they'll start talking in other languages, not just from Poland, but everywhere from around the country and around the world, it's just kind of cool because they all interact with each other. So it's really nice that people can ask each other questions, and they love to ask me questions. So I try to interact as much as I can. And I try to, Sweden too. Yes, Daniel, I saw that we had a couple from Sweden as well. I try to highlight the comment on screen when I'm using StreamYards, but when I'm on my phone, I got to try to read out as many as possible. And it's tough because I can't highlight the ones that are in other languages, because I definitely can't say them out loud because I don't know how to pronounce or speak in another language.
right. Yeah, it takes a little bit of you could go over and you could copy and paste it and then throw it into Google, and Google will translate
it'll pause
it for
the
you.
live stream though, because I'm live streaming from
Yeah,
the phone.
right. But but talking about Poland, so I've heard, I don't know, maybe you've heard. So like Poland is supposed to be putting out some pretty decent whiskey.
Yeah.
Like Poland, and there was another one. I can't remember what it is. Polish and something else. But like, how in the hell can we get some of that? Like who is anybody bringing that in?
The guys
Anybody
are starting to recommend bottles from these distilleries that are over there that are local to them, and I've started trying to ask questions because I eventually want to compile a list of all my international viewers and subscribers, on what they like and what they want to see, and see if we can potentially get bottles or samples. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get samples from a foreign country because of immigration and sending it through customs and border.
Right.
But we can try to at least find it local. Or I do have someone who does travel internationally quite a bit, my dad, for some of
Oh.
these fancy tours. Maybe we can give him a list with a price range that we are willing to pay. And if he ever sees one of those bottles, to pick it up to bring it back so we can try it. And then obviously, if we have it in the States, anybody who's associated or tied to the YouTube channel that's within the lower 48, I
Right.
don't mind hand delivering that to you guys. So you guys are going to be able to try some of those rare imports as well. We just got to
Yeah.
get a list compiled together on what we're looking for outside of the norm. I mean, obviously the norm right now, Maker's Mark Cellar Age, Wild Turkey 12 and 13 for international releases, Jack Daniel's Single Malt international release. Outside of the bourbon whiskey, like let's get to some of the more international stuff that we don't know anything about. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah. Hell yeah. There's got to be somebody. There's got to be a distributor or something, an international distributor. Somebody's got to be bringing that or able to bring that stuff in.
Wild Turkey 8. I wasn't even looking for 8. I was just looking for 12 and 13. I didn't even think about 8. It's another good point.
Yeah.
Plum brandy. I'm not a big brandy fan, but plum flavored might be.
Yeah. Might be awesome.
I might like it. I don't like cognac or brandy, I'll be honest. I've had some stuff that was finished in cognac and brandy barrels, but the flavor profile, not a big fan.
It'd be interesting to try at least.
Absolutely. I want to say I'll try everything once, but I don't want you guys to take that out of context. I'll try any whiskey, alcohol.
We know what you mean.
Casca's going to bed too. Good night.
Good
I'm
night,
gonna have to hop off too, because we're gonna have to move over to the Discord because
all right, well,
I'm gonna have to go to bed soon. And then when I go to bed soon, tomorrow, got my kid. I got to take him to a doctor's appointment afterwards. I think I might go bourbon hunting with my kid. We'll try to live stream that. Obviously, trying to keep him out of it. He's still very young. He's under 2, so trying to have a free hand while pushing and holding a 2-year-old or under 2-year-old
right
is almost impossible. We might go check it out. I heard we're on the street. Anybody in my Dallas Fort Worth area, if you guys are tuning in right now, Goody Goody will either drop their allocation this Tuesday or this Wednesday. So if you guys didn't know, Goody Goody, they no longer do their raffle and they're no longer doing their bundles. They're dropping it all at once. But per corporate, they're going to pick a night. They're going to tell all their employees to put all the allocated bottles out. And then the next morning, like when you walk in on open, all the bottles for every single one of the Goody Goodies, not just one location, all Goody Goodies in Texas, they're putting them all at once. Now, the only people who are supposed to know on when they put them out is the manager. But obviously, if I'm telling you Tuesday or Wednesday, they're supposed to put them out, some information got leaked. So we're trying to go out there because they're supposed to have like Blanton's Gold, store picks, and some other shit that they're going to put out on the shelf. They're the most competitive box store for MSRP pricing, so they will give MSRP pricing.
Damn.
And it's not limited one per customer, from my understanding either.
Wow.
I don't know if that's 100% true on that, but from my understanding, they're not limiting you. They might limit you as far as like, hey, you can't buy 5 Blanton's Gold store picks, but if they have like 2 awesome bottles, they're gonna let you buy one of each. From my understanding, we'll see if it actually happens or not. If anything, you'll be able to buy one, get back in line, and do it again. But that's the goal.
Wow.
Goody Goody might be the next place that we start spending a lot more time at. We got a one in Bedford and one in Colleyville that are close to my work that I'll be hitting up. And then Total Wine's kind of off the radar. We don't really go to Total Wine hardly anymore after one, getting thrown out of a store, but also 2, their allocations just kind of suck.
What did you got thrown out? Why?
Yeah, I got thrown out on a live too.
What happened? I missed it. What happened?
She came running across the store saying that I could not be recording in here. And I just politely replied, okay, I'll leave then. And then, like, as I'm walking out, she yelled across the store, by the way. She's followed me out. Wow. And I'm still live. I didn't cut the live at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, I spend thousands of dollars in the store. I have over 100,000 loyalty points through Total Wine. And I'm getting asked to leave the freaking store.
Wow.
And I was like, I was getting ready to buy a barrel product that it was a rye. It was a store pick that Total Wine had. because it was recommended by a subscriber that I was going to bring to the bottle share. So I had to leave before I could buy the bottle I wanted to buy. So I had to go like 2 or 3 days later to a different Total Wine that happened to have the same store pick so I could pick it up for the bottle share. Cause I'm like, I really wanted that bottle for the bottle share, but I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to go back or not. Cause it got thrown out by the store manager.
That's crazy.
So I will probably not be going back to the Total Wine in Euless, Texas.
I'd go back.
I mean, I did, and when I went back, I was live again, and she radioed to another sales associate to watch me, and I could tell he was like on top of my shit. I didn't see any allocated bottles, so I went to leave, and she made this smart ass comment where it's not like genuine. She's like, "Bye, I hope you have a good day," but like in that super sarcastic salesperson voice, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up," is what I wanted to say so loud, but I'm like, I'm on live. But I'm like, you work at Total Wine. You don't make enough money to give a shit if someone has their phone on. And
yeah, what the fuck does it matter?
And then I'm like, well, what does it matter if I'm recording? Some of them said like pricing. I'm like, your shit's online, and they're like store layout. It literally tells you the aisle and the bay number at the store through the website on where the bottle is located. So I'm like, why does it matter? And I'm like, I've guaranteed that I've done live streams where it has actually brought in sales. Like I can show you a Kentucky Owl 10-year that got sold because I showcased the store. I saw a bottle. I knew someone who wanted it. So I messaged him afterward. And it wasn't 2 hours later. He sent me a picture of the receipt with the bottle in hand that he went and picked it up. And I'm like, see, this is why we live stream. Because if I don't find something I want, I might help find something that someone else wants. And here we are. We did it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Mr. Lopez said it great too. He said, "Screw that Total Wine." Yeah, I mean, I went to the one in Arlington, which is the one that's close to me, and no issues whatsoever. And matter of fact, I have some of the best experiences there. The only reason why I don't go there and hunt as often is because one, it's too close to the house and not close to work for timing. But two, those guys get there like 2-3 hours before the store opens. I'm not trying to camp out for like 3 hours every day on a chance at a bottle. These other stores I could walk up to, and I might be the first 2 or 3 in line and get there at 9:50.
Yeah, when we went to Fort Worth, we stayed at the Arlington. There was a campground. I forget. I can't think of what it's called, but yeah, there's a campground in Arlington, and it's like you wouldn't even think there'd be one there, but it is, and it's kind of like in the middle of, sort of in the middle of the town, but it was a nice little spot. I was surprised. Yeah. Yep. We liked it. Whatever. What is it?
Glass
what
is still at work.
Oh, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off though. We're gonna close the live stream. I'm gonna be moving over to Discord. If any guys want to come over, we'll be in Discord.
Yep. I'll jump over.
And then I gotta work out this deal for these Old Foresters with Mr. TJ. So I'll catch you guys for the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Good chatting with y'all tonight.
See you, Will. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Yep. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.